Attention Republicans in Congress. President Obama has a tough new message after standing on what you might call hostile ground at a Republican retreat last Friday. Today it was friendlier territory. The president turned a meeting with Senate Democrats into a bit of a pep rally, encouraging his party to be more aggressive and aggressively claiming Republicans are determined to just say no. Let's bring in our senior congressional correspondent, Dana Bash. Dana, you were there in the room. How did it go?
That's right. You know, Wolf, last week the president opened up the Q&A with Republicans to show some independence, that he's willing to reach out and show his base he's willing to take the GOP on. What was fascinating about today is that Democrats use this as a chance for their own vulnerable senators to take the president on. Take a look at these 6 senators. We'll put it in here. All of them are facing tough re-election battles this year. Each was carefully chosen by the Senate Democratic leader to ask a question, and none missed the chance to use the forum live with cameras rolling to show frustrated voters back home they're listening and even willing to stand up to the president. Blanche Lincoln of Arkansas, she was probably the most pointed and personal. She told the president about a frustrated constituent who doesn't think he or his aides had the experience to understand their struggles.
Father had worked hard. They've built three or four different small businesses, and he fears that there's no one in your administration that understands what it means to go to work on Monday and have to make a payroll on Friday. And are we willing, as Democrats, not only to reach out to Republicans, but to push back in our own party for people who want extremes?
Blanche is exactly right. We've got to be non-ideological about our approach to these things. We've got to make sure that that our party understands that, like it or not, we have to have a financial system that is healthy and functioning. So we can't be demonizing every bank out there. We've got to be the party of business, small business and large business, because they produce jobs.
And Dana, Senator Lincoln even sent a campaign press release about that moment. Interesting.
It sure was, and it really spoke to what this really was all about. In fact, I was sitting behind Senator Ben Nelson when these questions from vulnerable Democrats started, and he said under his breath, he said, "So much for softballs." Well, if it did turn out to be a chance for worried Democrats to give what amounted to campaign speeches, whether it was Evan Bayh pressing the president on deficits or Arlen Specter pressing him about unfair trade with China that hurts union workers in his state. And sitting there watching this, it was very clear to everyone in the room, they knew the optics of this was politically helpful. At a time voters think Washington is a problem, these incumbent Democrats, endangered incumbents, got to look and sound like they're challenging the system, and they're not part of it.
And they assume it probably will help them in their bid for re-election. All right, Dana, thanks very much.